Say what? Say what radio show. With no agenda. It's always a surprise. But if we're not having fun, we're doing something wrong. Saturdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern, 3 to 5 Pacific. On Haggy Shack Radio at haggyshack.com. Say what? Hi, everybody, and we are live.
Hello.
Hi there. How are you? Hi, Nancy. We have I'm not sure. Dolly, you still here?
No, Dolly's messing with the blinds.
Okay. Well, we have Nancy and Deb and Annette, and this is Say What? And I'm going to mute myself and let y'all talk. Nancy, you want to start this thing?
Sure. Hi, Annette.
Hello.
Listen,
how's Looney Nancy doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
What I don't know your mother extremely well, but I think I get your mom. And, you have to just listen to the fact that, sure, Deb is using some kind of other energy, but you are novice here.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think, A, of the accuracy, and B, what did you think of the fact that she's doing this with color with a little bit of intuition and empathy involved?
I thought it was very accurate with the colors with Mom, and it was kind of funny because when you put the colors in, do you hear like this background too that's like a little bit behind us?
I don't hear anything behind you, no.
I do now. I
don't know what I got on. No, it's on. It's plugged in. All right. Well, I'm just going to ignore it. The accuracy I thought was fabulous. I mean, it was just very spot on, and I thought it was pretty funny because the colors, when you had put that little color picture on there, the first one that popped out at me was the yellow one, the number 11, and then the second one was that blue, the number 5, and then Mom picked 5 for the first one and 11 for the second one. So it was just, I thought, oh, well, all right.
Well, now, did you feel that the reading, although it was for your mom and that she gave 2 different positions, but did you feel, that the reading was very close to you also?
Yeah, on the first one, the first one that she did with just those 2 colors, yeah, I thought it was very accurate. So Mom and I end up being in the same zone, I guess, or dimension. Ooh, maybe Mom and I are in one dimension. We're on Dolly World.
Annette, is yours the opposite? So yours was the yellow on the bottom instead of the top?
No, that was the same. It was just the color that popped out first to me was yellow, and the blue popped out first to her.
And if you stacked them, would it go the same way your mom did it with the blue on the,
yes.
On the bottom? Wow, so you guys are like soulmates.
Well, that's kind of gross, but yeah, maybe.
No, it doesn't mean romantic. You have similar soul energy.
Yes, that I would agree to. But yeah, it was very frighteningly familiar.
And I don't know Dolly. I mean, I only know all of you from chat. I know Colleen a little bit more just because we've talked, in Skype before over the Indiana thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, I just go.
Yeah. It was very interesting. I thought that would be because I had never heard of the color thing either.
Yeah.
I did do a few years ago, I got into this, I took I don't want to say it was a psychic analysis, but, and I wish I could remember the name of it, but I will. Dressing Your Truth. You can look it up online, and then it takes you through. You have to purchase it, of course, but it takes you through all of this video, and she explains, you're one of 4 different types of people, and then she goes on to explain what the people are, and she's going through 1, 2, and 3, and I'm like, well, I ain't any of these. She's not going to be able to categorize me. So she gets to number 4, and oh my gosh, the things that she said, Now, number 4, this is our special group. These are the ones that all through this video are saying she's not going to be able to categorize. None of this is true. And their favorite phrase is, this is just stupid. And I say that all the time. It floored me. But then going from that, it tells you, what colors you are drawn to and what colors you need, how you dress and are comfortable. And it was just very odd. And I thought, going into it, I thought, this will just be interesting. But it was spot on. And then to hear this color thing, I thought, wow, it really is pretty darn spot on.
And that lady might have trained in Orasoma too, or a similar, training, because I have seen other people doing other things with it. That's cool. Yeah, it says a lot about us and to us. It really does. And we're unaware of it. That's how the advertisers can use it to their benefit a lot, that we're not even aware of. So it's good to know what's going on with those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I thought it was very interesting. Very cool.
Let me ask a question. Hi, Deb. It's Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
And we've got Deb with us. We just sort of always hijack, we don't always, but we mostly hijack Dolly's guests.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Well, that's what this show's about, too, is we discuss what was on dilly-dallying in Dolly World.
That's
Say
absolutely
that fast
true.
3 times.
It's absolutely true. I've got a question for you regarding the understanding of color, because to me, it's a way of analyzing energies. And I wonder, have you ever thought about what it would be like in a school system if you were putting the kids and teaching them by where their color chart is saying they should be, rather than their ages?
Beautiful that you bring that up, because after the show I did with JP, I let a lot of my friends listen to that, which is a miracle. And my girlfriend, who I've known from 7th grade, so I've known her forever, but she lives in Florida still. I used to live in Florida where you all live. And she had never really heard what I do or what I did professionally, because, we went 2 different lives, even though we keep in touch. And she's in the teaching profession. And she just flipped out when she heard the show, and because she had just taken a class for the teachers in the school system, teaching about color and how each child goes into a different color and how they're going to behave that way, and to not judge them, and that no one's the same, and that they're going to have certain attributes to a color. And I thought that was very cool. So it does, and she is where is she at? Clearwater. So there's some school system over there that was giving this class to teachers. I don't know any more about it, but yes, it appears that is beginning to happen, and I feel that it would be very beneficial.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was a teacher, and I found that when I was teaching mathematics, general mathematics, and it was a weird thing, because it was when they had the new math or whatever that stuff was coming in. And so I knew the old way of teaching it, and I knew I had to teach it by this silly book. And so I'd teach 2 ways of doing it, but I still had kids that weren't getting it. And so in different classes, and so I took them, there was 5 of them, I took them after school. I said, just come after school, I just want to sit and talk with you. And I did, and all of a sudden I went, oh my God, I know exactly how their brains are working. And then I said, okay, now let's look at the math again. And because I had a glimpse as to how they were seeing things and could present it in a way that they could accept it, my God, they just turned on. I mean, it was like, oh. So then my classes had this 3rd way of doing it, even though there weren't that many, percentage-wise of kids in the class. But all of a sudden my D, almost F students are getting B's at least, and some of them were pulling A's on certain papers, on certain math. And I got called into the principal's office. They somehow thought I was cheating.
Oh, come on.
They said, how can you cheat? It's math.
Or they're taking the numbers so you can look good or something, right? No. You were doing a great job.
But that's where their heads are at.
Yep.
You know, so the fact that Clearwater, I wonder if it's a public school or a private school, because
I'll ask her and I can email you or get back to you, because I don't really know, and I don't know anything. She just mentioned it and was really excited about it, and I had never heard that before, you know, with the school system. So yeah, I'll find out and get back to you, because I hope I'm giving correct information, but that's what I remember of the call. So yes.
Well, yeah, especially if there's some course out there that's actually working to work with the teachers.
Yeah.
You know, if we can get that to other schools. I mean, even if my partner in the Shungite business is very much associated with the Waldorf school right there in the Boca Raton area, and
where my parents are, they're in Boca.
Oh, is there? Okay, good. Well, if you come down, we ought to get together.
Fun party, yeah.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to drive over in Venice and see Dolly.
Yeah.
And Annette.
It's beautiful over there too. Total different. The feeling.
So what time do we expect you tomorrow?
If you knew what it took to get me into a travel mode. I'm like, I don't mind going, I just don't like leaving.
I hear you.
Shungite. You cannot. She'll have to bring some with her, a lot with her.
Mom has some of the shungite. She said she's been putting it under her headboard and sleeping like a baby.
Oh, good. I have too. I've been sleeping really well too. Thank you, Nancy.
Well, you know, the key to the shungite is if you're electromagnetically sensitive, you're going to have these massive responses. Oh my God, I feel good, because you felt so shitty to begin with.
And you didn't even know you felt shitty. And
no, that's exactly the truth of it. Stephanie will be having a talk or in the yoga class or in some class or something, and all of a sudden somebody will walk in and, you know, look kind of stunned and said, I don't know why I'm here. But they're being attracted to the shungite field. And she says that when I try to explain shungite to people that are electromagnetically sensitive, she says they don't hear my words. All they're doing is feeling the energy.
Right.
You know, and we had some kids just this last week. She was at the yoga class, and two mothers drove up and said, I don't know why I'm bringing my child here.
I love it.
And the kids are, well, I don't have any children of my own. I was the oldest of 10. I had no preconceived notion as the fact that children were work and not, you know, all play. And, never got lured into, plus the fact that I got a lot of mother nurturing as the oldest, you know, for these children. But being with Stephanie and hearing what's happening in the school systems in a real-time basis, you know, it can be very frightening. And then you get something like this, you know, like the Waldorf school, or maybe even Clearwater, if it's private or public, where they're beginning to understand that, you know, there is much more to this than what we were ever led to believe. Yeah. And the electromagnetic energies that are out there that are so damaging to the children, if you can just turn them off, which you can do with the shungite, then the children are unbelievably advanced.
Yeah.
But they're right now, they're kind of screwed up. There's a tremendous amount of suicides. You know, there's a tremendous amount of pain in these children. And I think it's a lot to do with the electromagnetics, but it's also the way that the school systems are set up to deal with them in a way that's not even natural. Why? Because a kid is a certain age, that's who they are? No.
Well, because it's that regimen and everybody's the same, and they're not. And these kids are even more not the same than what's come before. And so they're super, super sensitive to energy, and they're like on a different dimension already. So they're having an even harder time than we had coming in.
Absolutely.
And the kids are being labeled.
Yes.
As soon as they get in there they're just labeled, and then that's what they are the entire
medication,
time.
And that's it. Right.
Yeah. And that's how they get treated, by whatever label they've been put on. Yeah. It's just awful.
Yeah. Now let me ask you about the color of the rooms that the kids are in. Or anybody. I mean, I laughed because when I saw Dolly on Skype, the shade of paint on her wall is very similar to what I have on my wall.
Oh, cool.
You know, and, but would you consider or think about, have you ever thought about the fact that the colors inside a room would be more or less conducive to learning?
Oh, yeah. But again, like you said, and my friends said, not everyone's going to resonate at that color. But what do they say? Yellow for learning is usually best. But, if you have somebody that's not comfortable with yellow, so it might be good if they really got onto it to have different little sections of the room that were different colors. And for
wow. And then the student could pick where they wanted to sit.
Right. Because they'll do it by feel. See, when I used to do readings in these little shops before I went big time, whatever that is, I used to have the same thing like you guys are having with the shungite. It was so funny to watch. I'd be in there, la 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 la, and these people would come in like they were frickin' on drugs. And they didn't know why they were there. This was when I was in Sedona particularly. And that place will kind of zone you out anyway. But they'd come in and wander around the store, and I knew they were there for me. I'd have the whole set of colored bottles, and they didn't know. And I would just sit there and smile. I would just sit there. They didn't even see me. And then all of a sudden they'd end up in front of the bottles. So then I would talk to them, and then they would tell me. Me and one of my bosses used to laugh all the time, because they're like, I don't know why I pulled in here. I don't know why I'm here, but that's why. And with the kids, I used to teach in the class I gave on colors. I just love kids. I love adults when we can be in our natural way of being, because we do so much instinctively, but we're taught it's not good, and then it's almost programmed out of us. So when kids, if you ever watch when they're really young, a lot of them, including us when we were young, but we might not remember, go to the closet to pick your clothes. Oh my God, don't some of them come up with the craziest combinations that you're like, honey, you can't wear that outside, And they know what color, which is really what frequency and vibration, they know instinctively what they need on what part of their body, because they haven't been taught it's wrong yet by fashion or whatever. So we lose that as adults. So it's really good for all of us to let the kids do their own way. Like JP always says, it's best to leave them alone, unless they're going to kill themselves. And then to go to the closet and go towards what you're drawn. Or if you're in a store with stones, go towards what you're drawn. There's something in you vibrationally that will resonate with the vibration you need. But we block it.
Yeah, I have people ask me about, the meaning of different stones, and I said, I don't know where people get the information about the stones that write about them. But the only thing important is, does it resonate with you?
Exactly.
Do you feel a connection to it? Because that's that energy you need.
That's right. I used to tell people that when I worked in a bunch of little stores, especially New Age stores, and I have other psychics, whatever. People argue with me, like a customer would come up and they'd ask me what stone, and I would start the process of saying, which one are you drawn to? We can then find out about it if you want, but it's best really just like supplements. I body test myself on everything. Why not go with our natural, doctor, our own being? Don't go by, it's helpful to see other people's information, but that may not apply to you right in that moment. Our being knows what it needs. So yes, it's best, because your eye will be drawn to the color or the sparkle of whatever, not element, but whether it's made of iron, copper, whatever it's made of, that has a frequency too. And your body will know. It will feel good when you hold it or touch it. It just will, and the color will. It's so perfect. But we get in the way of it because we were taught, whatever has happened. We're disconnected from the natural way of doing things, which is not doing anything.
Let me ask you a question, just, sort of a test question here, not test in testing,
Okay.
Testing is this an indicator of something else we can find out about these colors? Because we have, different pendants, and I started putting, different types of beads on the shungite pendants.
Okay.
And the one combination that is the most popular, with mostly women, is the carnelian, the orange and towards the brown, and the shungite.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Well, orange, I love orange, and that was good. Dolly picked the last one. To me, and I'm kind of just out there, but when I used to do the things, cause things just come to me. Do you remember way back when there was some woman in LA doing the S Factor? She was teaching women how to do the striptease. And anyone that picked orange, I said, you should take that class. Orange is the female, the womb, that chakra, and a lot of women are disconnected from their joy and from their body and from their natural S curve and their movement and their sexuality because of the way our society has just locked it into something perverted, and also their creation. Orange is all about the creative force and the joy, and that is really vital for women. It's part of their essence. It's part of men too, but more so with the female.
Well, I guess I better start making some more carnelian. Get your carnelian. My God, that makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And the men might be drawn to it if they're trying to balance out. Yeah, the orange is the new. They're trying to balance out their inner female, So, I mean, and again, do whatever. And if you see trends, I used to see that with my readings. Oh my God, when I did this all the time, I would just crack up. And I'm sure anybody that does any of this stuff or therapy or whatever they're doing, not only is it my own issues, so they're showing up at the same time, but like I would have a week of all these people, women, that were pissed off at the patriarchal. And it would all show up in their readings. Then I'd have another week where I had all the suicidal ones. Then I had a week where I'd have, so just go and you will see the trends. Make all the colors, but when you see one being pulled more, then you'll know, oh, maybe the collective, there's something going on, and right now is a time for the women or the population to open up more to the joy and the creation vibration, So it's giving you information too.
Well, we also have the beads in bracelets. And I stopped making them up because I never knew from week to week what would be bought.
Right.
It was like all of a sudden I'd have, the malachite being bought up. Right. And then the next week it would be the green serpentine and the carnelian. And it's like, you never knew.
Nope.
So I just said, all right, when they order them, I'm going to make them because I can't judge it enough to get ahead of the game.
No, don't. Do exactly what you're doing because you're right. You'd have to have a million of them sitting there, and they're gonna go on their own flow. But it'll be interesting to watch, like you said about the carnelian lately and then the malachite. But yeah, they're reacting to that vibration, and the shungite's giving it more power and more grounding force. And from what I read the other day, I was kind of fascinated by something. Like, I just get little parts, and I don't know, but if they resonate with me, I don't know if they will with everybody. But I read something, I'm like, because we're seeing all this illness and a lot of headaches, and I'm seeing a lot of people with strokes and also shingles, like some kind of weird thing going on with the electrical and the nervous system. And so what this one person said, and it felt right to me, is we're being hit for whatever reason, whichever direction, with this higher frequency. And if you do not ground, which is where you're very important, Nancy, and the shungite, people don't realize, and they don't know what's happening. So the energy's coming through, but they're not letting it go through to the earth. Because we're really just antennas for the earth and then back through us. So we have to ground these higher frequencies in before we can use them and work with them and put them out. And if we don't, it's going to upset our nervous system and our cells. I don't know if this is correct, but it sure hit some kind of ding ding with me.
No, I totally agree with it, because when the energy when you're getting that download of a new energy,
Yeah.
it comes in it can come in from any direction, but what you're doing is it's hitting your energy system, so your energy system is now being discombobulated by the energy that's coming in. And what you have to do is incorporate it in so that it's balanced within your own energy field. And the only way to do that is to allow it to go straight through and ground.
Yep.
Now, once it grounds, then you're connected because if you're not connected to a ground in an electric system, your system is not going to work. Okay, that's just a fact of electricity. I mean, everything that we talk about in energy, it corresponds to electrical and electronic concepts. There's nothing different. We're just talking about energies that are not easily measured or perceived. Yep. But these energies come in, you let them come in, and people don't ground. They don't even, I mean, most people
have a concept of it even.
You know, go outside and put your feet, you know, you can have socks on, but, you know, put your feet without shoes because the shoes have rubber in it or plastic or something else is going to keep you from getting a good ground, and put your feet on the ground. Now, there's what is it? Earthing.com, I believe, has different devices that allow you to essentially plug in a sheet to the ground of your house or plug in, you know, they have this one gizmo that you basically, I think, put it on your toe or something. And so you're getting grounded while you sleep. But shungite by its very nature grounds you out.
Yes, it does. And I noticed it. I didn't write you back right away. And I have so many things in here, so I didn't notice as much. And this is just me, and it doesn't mean that it isn't helping. I'm sure it is with the stickers and everything. But what I noticed most of all, like I told you in the thing, was when I wore it, and because I started noticing over time when I don't wear it, I'm a little more agitated. And then when I wear it, I'm calmer. And so then I started wanting to wear it more, and then I wore it to bed, or I think I'd wore it to bed first, and I always sleep better with it. But another thing, of course, the shungite is hugely important, but what we forget, this just drives me nuts. What we forget as people is all we have to do is move our attention. So if we're feeling agitated, but first you have to be aware of it, and sure, wear the shungite, and it's great. But move your attention down your body, down, feel your feet, even if you're inside a house on the 5th floor, it doesn't matter, and move down into the earth. It'll do it. But we have to be aware of that, you know, but it helps to have something around you all the time because you're not going to be able to think that 24/7.
Yeah, shungite makes it easy to stay grounded. Exactly. You know, you just carry some nuggets in your pocket, put a bracelet on, a necklace on, even wear earrings. Yeah. I mean, yep. I actually made myself an anklet that's got,
perfect.
Yeah, an S4 shungite magnet in it. They're very hard to size, you know, so someday maybe we'll get them out there. But, I realized that, and I also have a Shun Mag, bracelet on. And I'd been wearing them on the same side of my body for quite a long time. Wow. And one day I'm going like, this doesn't feel right anymore. Cause I mean, I had switched them out to see where I felt balanced, and I had to move the anklet to the other side of my body.
Yep.
So apparently, you know, initially my body needed and it was the left side, you know, the male side. And isn't that right? I think so.
Yeah, that's what they say. Some people are switch polarities, but generally, yes.
Yeah, but it feels right to me that it was the male side had to get completely readjusted, and it needed, you know, I mean, so if you just go with what you're feeling.
That's it. Cause we know it, but we're blocked from it because we don't realize we have it. We know, but we're not used to knowing that. So you did exactly right, and you followed. Oh, that's what I did. At first I was wearing it as a choker, and I was fine. But then all of a sudden, and I don't know why, but I'm trying to learn not to second guess it, even though sometimes I will. But it kept telling me to wear it down in between my solar plexus and my heart. I don't know why, but
I do, because that's where your thymus is.
Oh no, thymus is between your throat and your heart. It's higher.
Oh, it's higher because okay.
Yeah,
I guess you're right.
in between but you know what? And it may not stay there forever, just like you. That's what it told me then. But if I get the feeling, okay, I'm not doing that, then that's exactly right. Follow what we're feeling or what we're called to do. There's no rules in it. And each person, if they can just let their own body or being information come through, but a lot of us don't even know we have it. We run to everybody else for all the answers, and they can help, but, you know, really, if we can just tune in enough, bingo bango. Easy for me to say.
Well, because, you know, we've been out there, we've played with it longer.
Right.
Annette, you're the one that is new at this. Ask us some questions. If there's, you know, anything, ask us questions.
Yeah.
Ask questions. Well, I don't know. You've been cracking me up talking about the male readjusting themselves, and my mind is in a totally different place right now, I think. All these little phrases keep coming up, and it's everything I can do not to start cracking up.
So you're wondering if Shungite can help your sex life?
Well, my sex life could use some help. It's been a really frickin' long time.
Can totally help.
So you need to wear Shungite.
Oh, and maybe I'm wearing the wrong colors. What colors attract?
Orange for female.
Orange for female. Yeah, I was getting into that. I might have to start getting more orange clothes coming in here. Yeah, I find it very fascinating. As far as having questions right now, like I said, my mind's in a totally different place. I don't know what kind of questions to ask that would be appropriate, because they're all not.
Oh. The orange activated you. That's what happened.
That
What
would be,
activated me?
that would be Deb's sex and color show.
Dolly started it. Well, no, I did with the orange, but okay.
Yeah, really. Don't put the blame on me.
Yeah, that
And I wanted to.
So I did hear, Nancy, you were talking about how your Shungite partner was doing a yoga class. So does she incorporate the Shungite in her yoga?
Well, yeah, actually, the yoga class, actually it's like a center. The people that run the yoga center are very much into Shungite. So it's almost every class there's somebody from the team that is there participating in order to continually create a Shungite environment. They find it changes everything.
That's nice.
You know, and again, I mean, there's a science, there's the reason for it, you know, and I find it very interesting that it's black.
Right.
You know, which holds all the colors.
Yep. And very grounding, you know, lower chakra, like near the red, near the earth. It's a heavier vibration, which you really need to ground to this dimension, to this earth plane a little bit, until it keeps rising. I don't know what's going to happen when it rises. So, you know, more than it is.
If you had, it's very grounding, you're saying. So if you had a chunk of Shungite in each corner of the room, would that mean that it would help you be totally grounded, or
Yes.
Because Nancy had also said that, you know, she had the anklet and the bracelet on the same side of her body, and logically to me, I would think, well, the anklet on one side and the bracelet on the other, because that would kind of balance out what you need in your body. But It doesn't sound like that's what it was. So,
Well, I thought the same thing initially, and that's why when I was drawn to put it on the same side of the body, I'm going like, that doesn't make sense to me. But when I tried to wear it the other way, it didn't feel right. So I moved it, you know, back so that they were both on the left. And what we were talking about with the male energies is that, according to a lot of metaphysical thought, we have both energies of male and female, yin and the yang. You know, if you can't integrate them completely, you cannot really be a completed person. So, in the ancient teachings, they say that the right side of the body, which is dominated, oddly enough, by the left side of the brain, is the female energy. And that it's the opposite for male energy. So initially, I seem to need more balancing on because most of these have magnets in them too.
Right.
This is Shung Meg. So it's a powerful field that you've got going, and you would think that it sort of comes into a concept of parallel and, well, I don't want to get into that with you. But there's a reason for the energies to, once you get balanced out, that's when I needed to put it on the other side, because now I'm fully balanced. And now I want to maintain the balance.
Right.
But again, it is so much just listening to and feeling what your body is telling you. And that's the key to it. But if you can't admit that we're energy bodies, and that's why the electromagnetic waves are so damn dangerous. Because our bodies, everything in our body wants to rotate in a clockwise way. That's what nature is, clockwise. Alright? Now, and clockwise meaning it's the way it's spinning. Okay? Cause people will say to me, well, it depends on how you're looking at it, it's clockwise or not. But if you look at it, it's going from the up to the down, up and down on the right side, turning. The other way is on the left side. Like you're loosening a screw, that's counterclockwise. Clockwise is when you're tightening the screw. So when your body wants to tighten, and you get hit with electromagnetic energy and toxins that are all rotating the counterclockwise way, then if they're attacking your body, it's like two tops coming together. And what happens? They both stop. All right? In the case of electromagnetic, no, it goes right through you. But it's done the damage. It stopped your cells from rotating correctly. So if you are in a very balanced energetic condition, all your chakras are right and you're strong, you've got a better ability to be able to overcome this attack. However, if you're a child or you're old or you've got some kind of a health problem, then you're fighting and you're going down, because sooner or later, without shungite, they're going to kill you. Now, with shungite, the field from the shungite, because of the molecular construction of the shungite itself, brings in a tremendous amount of power from the quantum field. Now, the quantum field is nothing more than 90% of everything. Only 10% of what is visible matter. It's only 10% of everything. So, we underestimate the quantum field because we can't see it. And the new physicists, the quantum physicists, they're getting into this whole investigation into the ether, some of them call it. But regardless, the shungite pulls this energy in, and it puts up such a powerful clockwise field that when the electromagnetic field comes through it, it is essentially instantaneously reversed to a clockwise field, and it's not hurting you.
And Nancy,
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were. Go ahead.
No, but it's the same thing with any kind of a toxin. But when the toxin, which is a molecular, it's more 3D. It's more solid, and it tries to make the reversal. It can't, and it at the molecular level disintegrates. It loses its molecular cohesion. So all the atoms just fall apart. That's why in water purification with shungite, you do not get a lot of gunk in the shungite. You don't get any gunk, because there is no gunk. It's all been put back to atoms and gone back to the quantum field. But, sorry I got off on the shungite in that, Dolly, but,
I had a comment, though. You triggered a few things in me. Don't you find it's interesting where 10% of that field we're aware of, and we only use 10% of our brain? And also, when you're balanced in your male-female side and the energies, they flow up the kundalini and they cross over each other. So the field allows them to flow in and out, and I'm wondering, I've never looked into it that strong, but I wonder if that's what makes the left side of the brain control the right side of the body, because it starts out and it crisscrosses up, on both sides, and then it meets, and then it showers down and keeps completing the cycle. So when this field is interrupted by many different ways, then you're not in balance, you're not using your whole brain, you're not tuned into the information of the earth or your body. And that's what's happened for whatever reason, which, there's a lot of speculation, and I'm not going to go into all that, but we are a disconnected society from our bodies, from our energy field, from each other, and from the earth. And it's causing a lot of problems.
Why are you laughing, Annette?
Because she wants connection.
I'm in the chat. I need to stop. They're going to drive me crazy.
Colleen's getting us riled up.
Yeah, we're going to have to do Annette's colors pretty soon. I think I already know what some of them are.
She's talking about super soakers.
Oh, wow. She's having fun in there.
Oh my God. The water gun.
Oh, she got Annette wound up.
Sorry, I know this is serious stuff. I can't.
No, that's all right. Sometimes when I do Reiki, a lot of people have emotional releases and they'll cry, but people also have laughing releases. So whatever the energy wants to bubble up, let it. And laughing's so much fun. So,
Well, if we're not having fun, we're doing something wrong. We're having fun.
That's right.
Annette, you don't have any questions for Deb. And Deb, I don't know, how are you feeling, strength-wise? Do you want to continue for another hour? Or do you want to, do a short reading on Annette to see if,
I'm good.
See if I'm going to get any sex lately.
I want to put something in here real quick, guys.
Okay.
What happened?
Wiz is in the chat room.
Okay, hi, Wiz.
We haven't seen Wiz. Wiz used to be a regular in Wolf Spirit Radio chat room. We love him to death, even if we want to smack him upside the head from time to time.
I love you.
I don't know Wiz.
And I wanted to welcome him back.
Oh,
I think you did. Deb, you'd love him. Sweetheart.
If you guys
It's a
do, I will. Cool. Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
Annette,
you guys
Annette, do you have the color chart in front of you?
Oh, here.
Let me scan up here and find it again.
Well, I can drop it right here into Skype if you want me to.
I think Vanessa
Push
just
back.
dropped it. There we go. Yep.
You got
Okay,
it?
I got it.
Okay, so here we go. You ready? Take it.
Oh, out with all of those thoughts.
That's right. You got it. Okay, so deep breathe. Really important. Close the
Deep
eyes.
breathing is not getting rid of those thoughts.
Yeah, but close the eyes. That'll pull your attention inward and help quiet. And then deep breathe and do it at least 3 times really deeply. And you'll start to more get in the zone. So I want you to keep doing that till you feel until
You
you
might have to do Nancy.
So
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, here I go.
longer with you today.
Marie,
Okay.
settle yourself.
I'm trying. Shut up.
Okay. Dolly, everybody. All right. Annette, deep breathe. There we go. That feels good. Keep doing that. When you're ready, just open your eyes and the one color, we start with just one, the first color that jumps out, but only when you're ready.
Oh, it was number 12 this time.
Okay, it is funny how it'll switch too. Okay, now, you don't need to close your eyes again because you're in the zone. Just look at number 12. Keep deep breathing though, because that'll help keep you in the place you're in. And then ask in your mind or out loud, whatever's comfortable, is there any other color that wishes to go with 12 or does it want to be alone? And if you have to force it, that means it wants to be alone.
It wants to be alone.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
I mean, I
Okay.
keep going for the orange, but I think that's because of what we were talking about.
Yeah. Well, actually gold, because that's what symbolizes gold to me, even though it looks funny in this picture. And orange are very similar. They're yellow and red mixed together. So you just picked a different frequency, a little bit of the orange anyway, so it's in there. It's just got more yellow than it's got red. Okay. So are you ready? I'll start with that. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hit me with it.
Okay. Wow. So, gold. Wow. First of all, I don't see gold picked very often, especially in a first position, and especially on top and bottom. Okay? Now, this could be your soul vibration, but it also could be an immediate need. I'm not sure yet, and sometimes I don't determine that till I do a full reading. But I'll just throw it all out there, and then you can tell me at the end, if it resonated or what it feels like. Gold is all about just what we were talking about there is no outer teacher. But often with gold, there is a deep-seated fear. It's not just the anxiety, but it's a fear, and it could have been, I don't know how I feel about past lives, but it could have been from some kind of knowledge or something that's happened in your DNA line or you as an individual, if there are past lives, where you might have been persecuted or something happened not so nice about sharing your wisdom. So you're a good teacher, but it's not just a teacher. It's a little bit different than a normal person that just gives information. Your method of teaching when you're in your power and in your neutral place is in knowing that the other person has their own wisdom for themselves, and your way of teaching is to pull that out of them. But you have a lot of wisdom to give also. But there can be a block with the gold, and it's a strong fear. So you just have to keep breaking through that and allow whatever knowledge and wisdom you have to come out, whether it's through speaking, or writing, or whatever method. And even if you don't show anybody right away, just get comfortable with accessing it. Okay? And you've got a lot of knowledge, but more than knowledge, you have a lot of wisdom. And, you do have the red element in there, but it's mostly yellow, and it's yellow over yellow. So that says you have the ability to overcome the fear and the anxiety and become totally neutral, totally in the moment. And that shows a good tendency towards enlightenment, which is just being in the moment and being able to access all that there is for us. But you have the red too. So you're a natural healer, and you definitely have the ability to energize people, and you're definitely sensitive to energy. And I'm going to stop right there. So do you have any comments or questions, or was it way off, or how do you feel?
I like teaching. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I really have any deep-seated fear about it. I like public speaking type of stuff. I haven't done much of it lately, but I did like that when I was doing it.
Not fear of teaching, fear of your wisdom, your internal
fear of my wisdom.
Yes. Oh, and sharing it. Mm-hmm. Because
I don't usually have any problem sharing what I want to say, so I'm not sure what that. I did have though when you were talking. They've talked me into doing the Skeptics 101 thing.
They did that to you too? What is
Yes, last week. So it's a weekly thing. So whoever's up for next week, you better watch out.
So how did you feel about that when that happened?
Like I was hogtied.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
did it bring up a little bit of like, oh my gosh, what can I have to say, or what do I, what am I going to do with that space?
Yeah, because I don't.
Yeah, because it's one thing to parlay information. We can do that. But that's coming from a different place than your actual wisdom and knowing, which is much deeper.
Right, so because I don't know about it, and I think that's what makes me nervous.
Exactly.
And I know I'm going to be learning through it with whoever decides to listen, if there is anyone, which is good. And I do know that I have a way of, once I organize things, pulling it together so that it makes logical sense to me, which of course if it makes sense to me, it should make sense to everybody.
That's going to get in your way. So when you do it, because that's your usual mode of operation, and this is asking. Now, this might just be an immediate thing that you're counteracting. I'm not know if it's a lifelong thing, but what it's asking is to not overthink it, to really pull from what you know, because you already know. You don't really need a format and everybody else's knowledge on it. I mean, sure, you can do that, but don't make that the main part of it. That's what, and I'm not saying that myself, I'm saying that's what the color's kind of saying.
Okay, but I don't know this stuff. That's why, that's where when I teach things, I know it inside and out, and any question that comes up, I know the answers to. But I'm still very new on all this.
Dig deeper. I bet you know more than you know.
It's like you haven't gone there yet, Annette.
Right.
It's like, does somebody know that they know mathematics unless they do in their head 2 and 2 is 4 and commit to it? If you just open up and let whatever is coming into your heart and your mind happen, you're going to find out that you know, you got a shitload of archives up there. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
And so, but do what you have to do to feel comfortable. But a lot of people start out like that. I did too. I mean, even when JP asked me to do that first show and I hadn't done an interview in 10 years or a class or anything, I got out all my old class notes, which I never even used near the end, and all that, that's just a safety net. And you don't really need it, or it'll only be a crutch in the beginning. And then if you go in and feel just like we do with the stones or the energy, I don't know, it'll just come through you. And it's showing that you have that. But you, like she said, like Nancy, you may not have tapped on it yet, but that color you picked right now and the way you picked it said it is there. So you may just surprise yourself. But do whatever feels comfortable. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you to be aware of it and to gently and slowly let go a little more, and see if you can access what's coming through, because you've got a lot of wisdom in there, a lot that I don't even know you're aware of yet.
Okay.
And wisdom's so much different than knowledge. This is where people get confused, but it's different.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna stop. So there, I can't wait to hear your show.
Yeah, let's hope people like it.
Okay. Are you guys ready for a break?
Sure.
Everybody? Nancy, Dolly, everybody?
Yep.
Okie dokie. What the heck is that? Alrighty, and we are back. And I have one heck of an echo.
Yes.
Was that God?
Are we good?
I think so. Annette, Dolly, you guys back? Or you gals back? Smack me.
Yep. Oh, am I unmuted?
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I like it too, Nancy.
You like what too?
The way that the two shows, Dolly's and ours, seem to merge together and make for 4 hours of really good time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's awesome. And I'm really enjoying Deb's debut.
You're in trouble, Deb.
And
No,
Annette's
yeah.
too.
Yeah, Annette, both of us. Oh, well, thanks for having me. I'm having fun too. I really am.
See, Deb, you can do it. We'd all have fun. And you'd be sharing your love with everybody. Oh, yeah.
And I think that this is, because we speak about frequencies all the time.
Right.
We speak about color therapy. We speak about astrology and all kinds of things. And I think that this would be a really good venue. It's down to earth. It's fun. She's not up there teaching and preaching and all that kind of stuff, and people learn. It's interactive, and that's the way people learn. Yes.
And if you don't want to do about colors and stuff, it's your show, Deb. You can do any darn thing you want.
Flippers.
Well, I do have a couple other, I love the love cards and I love, human design and, quite a few different things. The color is definitely my specialty, and of course I love astrology. And I feel very comfortable here. I mean, that's why JP dragged me in and I hung, I stayed. So I do really feel comfortable here with this wolf pack. For sure. But anyway, then see, I'm like, enough about me. Now what's next?
Well, let me ask you a question. Is there a, cause I was thinking when we were on the break about, because, and you mentioned, human design. One day, Walt Silva, who knows a lot about it, was talking about it and we discussed the concept of what if it was the children were being put into rooms where their human design was the same.
Wow, that would be pretty powerful.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, to me, well, I believe that we're I believe that we have, actually, did I just get locked out? Am I on? Hello?
I hear you.
Oh, okay. Somebody must have downloaded something at someplace. Anyway, yeah, what I see happening is that we're already transitioning into a new reality.
Right.
And so to talk in concepts of children and how they learn is so critical to the establishment of the new reality. Yeah. And just by getting out there and voicing our opinions or our thoughts or our just meanderings, what if we could do this or what if,
Right.
We're influencing the way that the reality will emerge.
Right.
And, so, yes, I think that both you, Annette, and need to, I kind of thought maybe that you were also talking to yourself when you were talking to Annette, just let it come out.
Yeah.
Just let it flow. Don't worry about preparation because the universe is going to take you wherever it's going to take you. I have prepared for hours for a particular show and never done it. It went someplace else.
Me too. Yep.
And we've got the key to the new reality is that everybody shares. Yeah. Nobody's afraid of saying anything because, hey, if it happened to you or you think that, somebody else does too. So let's get to the root of it.
And
is it or isn't it?
It came through why she picked that color. She's younger. She's really just kind of starting in.
I really love how you guys keep saying I'm younger because I'm 46 and I'm the oldest one in my office. So I like this younger thing.
Oh, good. Good. I mean, compared to us, I guess. So,
And then it's the age between the like 35 and 50. I know that's a long range, but your group right there has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, first off, you're younger. By 20 years in my case with you, it's like, but you've got all of this energy and you've got the vision to change things. When we were your age, we only knew there was a lot of problems. We didn't know where the hell to go.
And I gotta say here too, that at early 50s, I felt like a package of dynamite, just full. It was like, that was my peak.
Wow, that's great.
So, a lot of people say, 30s, 40s for a woman. For me, it was in early 50s, so. You are a package of dynamite, girl. Young dynamite.
Always been a package of dynamite, honey.
And she's always been modest about it.
Like her mama, huh?
That's great. Well, good.
Yeah, the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree in Dolly and Annette's house.
No, I don't see so much similarities.
Yeah, she doesn't want sex at all.
Oh, no!
Oh my gosh.
Well, now there's another example of why they've got so much energy, They're running after the sex god. Gave up running.
Well, Annette is. I'm running away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, the older you get, the more you go, my God, that is so... It's mentally depleting, it is physically depleting, and it's some kind of a scam somebody made.
Yeah, but it was fun at the time, chasing Bacchus.
Oh, we went back into the reds and oranges.
I'm telling you. I'm having a hard time with that today. Well, I'm not having a hard time, but I'm having a time.
Okay, I've got a serious question here. I want to know, is there colors, we sort of touched on it when I was talking about the carnelian, but is there colors that sort of like represent different countries and different times? I mean, from day to day, what would you say the color is of today, for instance? Is there one?
I have no idea. Orasoma says the new age, God, let me see if I can remember, is turquoise and coral. Now that's what we were taught when I studied it. I don't know, but I know that countries, there are, and even when I do readings on people from different cultures, it's a vibration. So yes, each country has a color signature, and each time does. Whether I really know, because I don't know that we're necessarily to the turquoise and coral. I was for a little bit, because JP talked me into doing this blog, and then I started it and I thought, what am I doing? So I canceled it, and I was doing a little video called Colors for the Collective, and I was tapping in to see where what I felt the colors for the collective. Doesn't mean it's for every single person though, but as a whole, what issues we were working on. And my girlfriends would all say, oh my God, you so get it. So I don't know right at the second. I would have to tap in and see, but yes, and yes to your questions.
Because the color is just a way of seeing the vibrations.
Yes. The frequency. Yes. The energy, the feel of it. Yes.
Well, instead of coloring the walls in the schools by different colors, maybe we should teach color therapy to them.
Yeah.
Because, the kid goes to the closet and he goes to pick up a particular color, he's going to know, whoa, if I wear that color today, that's what I'm going to be today. Do I want to be something else?
Oh, that's good. Also, another thing with color that people don't realize a lot is two colors often work together, the complementary opposites. I don't know if that'll continue to be if we really do raise out of duality, if that's even possible. But, so the yellow, what would it be? Like the purple is going to work with the yellow. So if you can have a predominance, say Annette, she is really in that orange and she wants to settle down, then she's going to go to the royal blue. She's going to go to the complementary opposite to help balance that. So there's a lot to color therapy.
Yes, there is. Okay, Colleen, you got any questions? Did you, after the reading for you, did you have anything else that you thought maybe you'd like to ask her?
If I did, that's gone already. It's back there somewhere.
Dolly, anything?
I did want to say, and I probably already did say it, but I'm going to reiterate. I used a big word. Did you see that?
I heard it.
Reiterate.
Is how right on the money all of that was.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my computer screens and they're kind of a reddish purple. What is that?
Magenta?
Yeah. And lavender.
Mm.
And then I still have that turquoise in there too.
Right.
So it's like, huh. Isn't that strange? But
what's really strange is that Walt was into my computer on Thursday. Every Thursday he comes in and checks it all out and cleans it up. And when he uses Team Player, I lose the background to the desktop picture. It just turns all black. Uh-huh. And then the start bar, at the bottom of it,
right?
That changes into a gray. And so I'm sitting here and I'm going like, why isn't he out of my computer? Do you know everything's gone? All the colors gone, everything.
Wow.
all of a sudden I've got black desktop and the start bar is gray. And when I was working with it yesterday, I went, gee, because I hadn't shut it down. I hadn't done a restart on it because we run a defrag program all night. So I'm going like, I'm kind of liking this. I like the way the bar looks. It's gray and, and now I can't even get it back.
Oh.
Wonder what that says. Hey, color person, what does that mean?
Well, which one, the black and the gray, and that you kind of liked it?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, it says a couple things to me that's not really based on color. So the first thing that came to me when you said it, I was feeling, I'm more a feeler. I don't even know exactly how I get information, but I was feeling the void. So the void is really expansive. It seems like it's nothing, but it's everything. And it may be more calming to you right now because you're not distracted by different vibrations of different colors. It's just the void. So it may have a calming effect on you right now because when there are a lot of colors, they've got all their energies, that can kind of pull and distract sometimes. So maybe.
Well, the colors that I had up was the oranges and yellows. The Windows pyramid thing that
oh, yeah.
That one? That was what was up. So even the bar was like this yellow. Yeah, and now it's black and gray. And I when you said calming, I went, my God, it is.
Yeah, because yellow, it's good, but yellow and orange, they are activating. Look what it did to Annette. It just maybe you're not going to stick with the black and gray, but maybe you could tune in and kind of look at a few different colors before you either keep that black and gray or look at a few different colors and see if something feels better to you right now, because maybe you're done with yellow and orange right now. It's too stimulating.
Well, I'm going to stick with this right now because, like you say, it is calming, and I don't underestimate. To me, coincidence, synchronicities, all of that is just thought and action. So that's why I think that somehow or another, I knew that I needed to get rid of those because it had crossed my mind earlier, last week.
Okay.
I should change that color, but I didn't do anything. And so, the spirit guides that I have surrounding me or my own higher intuition, I'm not, somebody said, no, you need to get rid of that color and get gray up. Okay. Go.
You were correct. It's going. Goodbye.
And someday maybe it'll pop up with the same thing. And when it does, I'll change it. I'll know, okay, they're over the gray thing, the void. I love that. That I'm looking into the void.
That's what it felt. That's what I picked up right away. And that's nothing with what I was taught. So that's what I felt was happening.
Well, it vibes with me, as we used to say in the old days. Now it resonates with me.
Yeah. Like people used to, I even have one, a black mirror, where if you look into a water, but a lot of people use a black mirror to scry. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Scribe. They call it scribe.
So you're looking into the void, and that's what I felt. So just having the blank so that what can come without putting a specific vibration on it. So.
Very interesting. So what color do you have on yours, Dolly? On your screen?
On my screen, it's actually a picture, and it has Jesus smiling in it.
Oh.
And holding his arms out, welcoming, and it shows the back head of, it could be a male or a female. The hair is dark and shorter. And it has a dove coming down on Jesus' right side, which would, when I look at it, it's on the left. It's just very calm. It's got blue in it, and Jesus is in a white robe type thing. I forgot the color of his belt right now. But when I open my computer, it's very calming to me.
Good. And blue and white, when I was trained, is the color of, now I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Laos Tao Laos. I'm saying it backwards. And it is very calming. And you again are surrounded by a lot of guides because you got Jesus there, then the blue colors, the dove, the blue and the white. So perfect for you right now.
Oh yeah, I really am at a good place.
Yay.
And then I got Dave who runs in and out that window over there. Brings his chairs with him.
Based on the previous conversations, I'm kind of scared to ask Annette what she's got on hers. It might be X-rated.
I want to hear it. Come on.
I don't think you do. I don't know if I want to tell you guys.
Oh, no, we have to know. And if you don't want to tell, make something really good up.
It's just a lot of really pretty men.
You called it right, Nancy.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you are pulling it towards you, I'll tell you. I didn't see the rest of your company. But your vibration's definitely there, so I think it's on its way.
Be careful what you wish for.
Handle.
And she could have had an old fart just last
Oh, good Lord,
couple
please.
weeks ago.
That'll get me out of the mood right there. Stop it.
They're going to be banging your door down, and then you'll have to decide, and then you'll be...
Oh my goodness.
Wait till you come and visit, Nancy. We have fun here.
Yeah. We definitely have fun here too.
Form is very beautiful.
Did you want to pick any colors this time, Nancy, or are you still... it was like a year ago when we did that. I didn't know you at all when we did that.
Well,
stuff.
you know, I'm kind of hesitant because I gave you the number. Well, I don't normally have people read me. I don't think it's any...
okay. That's why
No. I want to
Nancy.
explain. I want to explain this because I don't think it's any of their business. And plus the fact that I feel very comfortable who I am. I don't want anybody mucking with what I think about myself. I'd rather ask myself. So I don't normally do it. But when JP was, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it with you because you're special. Okay. But when JP was doing the first show with you, okay, and he asked for somebody to, look at the colors, and I said, well, I'll do it to get it going, right? Okay. And by the time I went back on, you were reading him, and oh my God, you've made so many things clear to me about that guy. I can't tell you how grateful I was to you. And then you did Colleen and you did somebody else, and I'm going like, oh, this girl is really good, And then you come to me and you looked at my colors and you started laughing.
I know, because you have some powerful ass colors.
And you were like, I ain't gonna go here.
And I didn't even know it was a shungite or anything, but it was so funny after I learned more. I'm like, well, that made perfect sense.
But you say that the colors will change. So yeah, I'll be quite happy to read it. Let me pull up the chart. Okay, now what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to breathe heavy and...
Yeah, I know.
Ground yourself.
Yeah,
Clear your mind of all the thoughts I've been putting in there.
And strap yourself to your chair so you don't fall out.
Yeah, and hold on to some shungite and you'll be alright. Okay, so just close your eyes and take a deep breath, and it's be fine. And if you don't really want to do it, we're fine with just reading your computer colors, but I'd be happy to play if we just...
No. Trust me, I find you absolutely brilliant, and I just love this concept of the colors, and to teach me more about the colors. If you need to use me, because to me this is just amazing information.
Yeah,
so, okay, now that you've pulled me out of my restive state, okay. All right, we're going back in now.
Okay, so close your eyes. Oh, I'll do it too. And deep breath, bring back into the moment, and for however long it takes till you feel really still. And when you feel ready, and not a minute before, you look at those colors, and one color, we just start with one, so the one that'll jump out with you, as soon as you look at them.
Seems odd to me, but 10.
Okay. And then keep breathing. Breathing's always good. But you don't have to close your eyes again. As you look at 10, ask in your head, your mind's eye, whatever, however, if there's any other color that feels like it wants to go with it, or does it feel like it's 10? It just wants to be by itself. And if you have to force it, because usually the longer it takes, then it's not a quick instinct. So if it feels like...
Sorry, I had my mic muted. It's 9.
Oh, okay.
It's 9. 10, and then 9.
Oh, which is pretty close anyway. Okay, now, if you were going to stack them on top of each other, which would go on top and which would go on bottom? The 9 on top or the 9 on the bottom?
I think the 9 is on top, but they're almost interchangeable, but the colors are so similar.
Yeah, they are. And it's so funny, even though you were on mute and you took a time, greens, when the color green comes up a lot, sometimes it's hard to decide. And because you had the mute on, I felt like maybe you were forcing it. I didn't know you had the mute. So it's funny because I was feeling it was supposed to be just green, and then you picked another green. So basically you're in the greens, and there's not going to be a big difference between me reading either one. But I'm going to start. Wow, this is exciting. Well, it's all exciting to me. But this means it's all... I do not believe this is your soul color, which is fine. I believe more what you picked the first time really felt like you. Not that I know you, but it just felt like this. And since this is the same almost top and bottom, it really feels like something that's going on right now or an immediate need. And it's saying time, space, rest, but it's also saying fresh start, fresh start, fresh start. I just keep hearing it. It's slamming me. And what I'm seeing is like leaves, like starting to bud out of a tree, and it, like in spring, but fresh growth. So you are in a space, and I don't know if it's happening or it's gonna happen, that you might have a lot of ideas and a lot of different ways to go and new avenues, and you may not be sure which one to pick, but it's saying, which I know you will anyway with your energy, but make sure you take the time, space, and rest for yourself. And then much like I told Colleen with her green in her second position, but yours is in your first, so it has a different energy. But, you know, keep centering, especially if there's big decisions to make. But that is a total color change. The two colors of change, when I read, are violet and green. Green is more like a natural change. It's going to organically happen at the exact pace it's supposed to. Violet change is like the white tornado where everything gets switched because the vibration has switched, and it's just getting righted, and people sometimes can get caught up in the eye of the hurricane instead of staying on the outside. You are not going to have that kind of change. So it will be at the pace you can handle, and there's definitely a lot of new things coming.
Well, that's interesting, because this last year it's been, well, since Shungite. I mean, you know.
And what else? I just got triggered when I heard your voice. Remember, I don't know if you heard when you were in chat, but how much I was really moved, and I could almost go there now, when you were talking to Max and speaking on behalf of Mother Earth. Hello, I think this is also saying you're going to do more of that and that you're needed. And I'm going to stop there.
Yeah, I did hear you, and thank you for that. Well, I don't know if you heard the show where Annette was asking me questions about that, and she wanted to know, well, how did I end up becoming the representative of humanity? And I'm not the representative. No. I am a representative of humanity. And there was no decision there.
Oh, no. And it came through you. I felt it, because I'm the feeler. And I felt it, and I was moved to tears. So it was right. And so, along with what I said, I feel there'll be a call to do more of that.
Well, I certainly hope that we can, I don't know if you know about Gaia's group. We started a group in Facebook called Gaia's Group, and it was specifically aimed at taking people that are in groups we're already in, and just the ones that want to focus on a small group that will focus their thoughts on a particular solution. And the first one that came up was the problem with the Navajo water system. It's been extremely polluted from normal type of mining, but also the uranium mining has radiated the water. It's a critical situation, and it's only one, but it happened to be the one that sort of got our focus, our attention. And so we're working very hard to get the water turtle, which is a shungite device that Walt developed that creates a huge amount of oxygen. And we know the potential for this clearing is astounding. So if we can get that group to really start to show some movement, to show some solutions really happening, and I believe it will, it's another example of what we can do when we come together. And on Wolf Spirit Radio, I mean, the fact that the people come, the chatters day after day, they'll spend hours just being here with the other people. It's the way that it is happening, yes, with Wolf Spirit, but all over the world. There's all these little groups coming together. And I'm just so grateful that, we are getting people like you that do come out of retirement. I mean, I was also semi-retired. I thought I was retired.
I feel better than I was yanked out. JP kept saying I asked for it, but I did not. Maybe on a soul level, but I had no intention when I first spoke to him. So you got pulled out too. Dolly's out. Colleen's out. Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, and that's been hijacked also. So,
yes.
But it's like once we begin to come together, and what I love about it is there's no leadership. Everybody's got their own thing. And it's like Dolly says, it's her show. She can do anything she wants, it's going to be Annette's show. Right. It's, Colleen and I, we do anything we want anyway. We don't have any agenda. I mean, we do not have an agenda. Of the two people on the face of the earth with no agenda, it's me and Colleen. What do we want to talk about? I mean, on my cosmic reality show, I have Walt. I say, Walt, what do you want to talk about? And then I sit back and listen.
I like that show too. I haven't heard it much, but I like it when I listen to it. Yeah. Good. Well,
so do you want...
I've only had one structured show, and that was the second time that Max came on my show. Well, I had questions that I had worked up that I didn't get a chance to ask him, because I was taking the questions from the listeners. That's the only show where I had anything written down to what I was going to say.
Right.
It just comes.
Yep. I think that's what the message was kind of telling, Annette a little bit, that she has that ability hugely that she may not have tapped into yet. But she will, it'll all happen. It's happening. So.
Did you want to do another thing with me, or would you rather, kind of quickly go through the different colors, because we're getting questions in the chat about what about this color or that color, and maybe you can cover a lot of people who are looking at the chart and getting feeling a draw, and you can just give them some.
I'll just go right through them in number and just give a couple sentences or whatever comes up. It may not apply to them, but just the specific things that are associated with those colors when we read. Because a lot of times what happens when you do the reading or you tap into the person's energy and the colors, it starts telling me stuff that's not even from the colors. But there are things for each color. And a lot of people may be aware of these because it is in correlation with the chakras a lot also. But sure, I'll do that as quick as I can. With clear, like I said, that can be karmic change. It can also show all the colors and ability to go, but often it's like the void, but not. It's like you're waiting for the marching orders and you're doing big clearing. It could be possible, like a karmic clearing and healing. The number 1, the pale violet. Now when I read the same colors, I'm just going to read the violet as violet and just know that the lighter colors just have a little bit higher frequency, and that they're gonna, if you pick the lighter one as opposed to the opaque, it's just going to have extra force to it, okay? So, but they'll mean basically the same thing. So like your greens did. So violet usually means maybe they, like I said, there can be ET influence on that, but it's sometimes can feel like the person feels that they're not being seen or heard for who they are, or possibly there's some sadness or grief, but they're here as a transition team worker, if that makes any sense. They've been through a lot, and then they're here to help people go through a lot if they don't get lost in the overwhelm and sadness of it. The royal blue, the next one, which we had a lot of that on that first show I did with JP. We had the royal blue team there in mass. There was a lot of royal blue. That is a lot of visionary talent, of course, because it goes with the third eye, but it's the inventor. It's coming up with new ways to do things, but it's all about how to get the invention out of the mind's eye and down into matter, but when it's time. So there's a lot of that, and a lot of psychics and artists will pick that sometimes, and engineers, things like that. Then blue, the blues, the light and the regular blue, just 5 and 6. That's the throat chakra, but like I said, because I think with Dolly's especially, and she had the pale blue, that is all about communication, which goes with the throat chakra, but it's also thy will, not my will. So communication also that can come through you, especially the lighter color. It has to do with peace, trust, faith, surrender. So when you see blues, in the way I was taught, it can represent the masculine, but also control issues and authority issues, and just owning your own authority and letting other people know they have theirs. The turquoise, the 7 and 8, is, I see a lot of massage therapists have this and a lot of artists, but it is the higher, that is the higher heart chakra. That is the thymus color. And it is all about, I associate this color with Pisces energy a lot, but it has to do, turquoise has a weird effect on me, so don't mind me while I'm feeling the turquoise. It has to do with merging, but the challenge in it is boundary setting, because it's a natural empath, and sometimes they have a hard time, like they can feel what other people need, and they so want to please, but then they don't set the boundaries and take care of themselves. And also it's confusing, because they're feeling it, and so it takes a long time to realize what's mine, what's theirs. But it's a very creative color, like turquoise and yellow and orange, or like the really, really super creative in different ways. Blue is creative through the vocal singing, writing. Turquoise is through poetry and I don't really know how to explain it, just feeling. And yellow is creative through intellectual, brilliance, you get that, aha! And then the orange is creative through body, through dance, motion, sex, creating things, giving birth to children and projects. Okay, so I got off track. See, the turquoise got to me. It always does. Now I'm going to go to the green. Is 9 and 10. Again, very similar, just, and much like what I said to Nancy, green is, when you see it, it's changed, just like purple is. So something's coming up. And it also depends where you see it at in the combination, much like tarot, right? So it may have a different feel in what position it is, and if it's by itself, is it on top and bottom, and what order. Because when I see green anywhere near the last two selections, I often think, okay, not only are they going to have a change, but they may have a change in relationship. So somebody new might be coming in a new love. But when it's in the first couple positions, it's just change, growth, and a really need to be aware of time and space. And to take your time, like I had told Colleen, when it's in the second position, that means there could be a challenge with the green. So that means, you know, how to tune in to the heart and get your answer from that instead of the head so that it can flow and get done. But you need the time and space to do that. And when it's in the, you know, all of these have the lower energies too. So sometimes when you can see it come up, and depending what colors it's with, it can indicate maybe there's anxiety around love issues or something's imbalanced and a person may be exhibiting or dealing with the lower frequencies of the heart. But usually in its pure state, without anything else, it's just the heart energies. Okay, yellow, the 11 and 12. And I read the 12 as gold. I didn't put 2 yellow. That's just how I read it. Because, you know, I could only pick, the man that I got these from had a whole bunch of colors. So I picked the ones that I wanted to work with. And so I see those two as a little bit different, even though they're both in the yellows. So yellow is in the lighter state, and of course it always shows up in the green, the gold, and the orange. But it's always about staying in the moment, dealing with anxiety. It's really good for breathing and yoga. So if you have a lot of yellows in your combinations, you're drawn to it, you could be lean more towards anxiety. So the breathing, the yoga, anything to pull your attention back into the moment, because along with green for balance, yellow is neutral. It can be really neutral, but there's a tendency to overthink. The gold, like I was telling Annette, it is a different color. Not a lot of people get it, but it's a really deep knowing and internal wisdom that we all have, but golds especially have it, and they have the ability to pull it out of others too. But often there's a great fear, and it comes, like I was even feeling this after I finished talking to her. It feels like it comes from ancient knowledge and ancient cultures. So this is something different than just school book learning or written word. Okay, your 13, 14 is the oranges. And I think I've already talked about orange quite a lot. And I'm already feeling that energy. But that is the creation energy. It's the orange chakra where the womb is. And it's about giving birth to actual children or creative ideas. Has a lot of coach energy. There is something with orange, though, that when it comes up, depending when it comes up in the reading, it can show a kind of drama. I mean, some of these can show like really things happening that people wouldn't necessarily want, but there's always a reason for it. So it can show a crisis where everything's kind of falling apart and you feel like that the pieces will never get put back together and it's devastating. But as you're going through it, once you get through it to the other side, you'll realize that it's there because whatever was not accessing either person or you, especially, highest joy. And it's been dissolved and it's not come together in the same way so that you can access your joy again. So it's all about joy, but it can have a little trauma. So a lot of people shy away from orange because of that. But it's a very active energy and a very creative, and the high side of it is really good, and the low side is not so much fun. And I guess that could be said for all of these, but that one is more an emotional color, so it's really felt. The next one, the 15 and the 16, is you've got pale. That's like pink. To me, that was pink. I couldn't really find any pink, so that's my pink. And then the 16 is the red. And I told JP before, this works no matter what you're seeing or how you're seeing it. I've seen it over and over. People that are colorblind or people that pick something and they actually think it's a different color, the reading still comes out exactly what it's supposed to be. So It's like weird. But anyway, so that's pink, and that's just the lighter form of red in the way I was taught. So, like I said, pinks have a lot of healing ability, but it's more nurturing. It's more the nurse than the physician, because it's got the level of care. Where the red is more the healer in a true force, maybe the shaman, and more powerful energy. They just have a different feel. Red also in this system, or the way I was trained, is Christ consciousness, or the female essence too. But a lot of times when I see red come up, it can also come from the time of Christ or Christ consciousness. And they're about love, healing, passion, and just depending. There's a lot to so much color, but that's basically that. I put brown in there, even though that wasn't one of the colors I was trained on. And then the black is actually, I was trained as deep magenta, which looks just like black. But basically, they're earthy. They say different things. To me, the brown says you could be heading towards stagnant or depressive energy, or you could just be solid in who you are and be really earthy. You know, it just depends how it comes up in the reading and what else comes with it, just like all these colors. And then the black one, I see that a lot, and with different colors. What did they used to call it? Rescue. It's one of the rescue colors. So a lot of men pick black with it, with different colors. But when I see it with different combinations, it again could mean some type of what seems like a crisis could happen. It can also have to deal with some addictions or addictive behavior, but it's also can deal with the shadow side of life, which we all have it. So when people pull these, they are strong and they can deal with the shadow. They're not scared of it like little turquoise people like me sometimes. You know, they can face it and help people with it. They understand it and they can hold steady enough, and they're not going to be frightened by it. So it's a very powerful, but really the gift in that last color, which you would never think of, is they have a really silly side and a really playful, fun side, but often they don't allow it to come out because they think they're being silly. But in doing that, it's a really good divine love color, and it helps the silliness and the inner child and the lightness of the person they're with come out. It makes it okay. So I always recommend that people that pull a lot of that or in certain combinations, let that side come out. Okay, I'm done. Any questions? Uh-oh.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Thank you. That was amazing. I will say that somebody once asked me, 30 years ago, what I thought the color of God was, and I didn't hesitate too long, and I said black.
See?
And you know, God being, you know, wanting to have fun, and that was amazing.
Hey, there's your void on your computer too, girlfriend.
Oh, that's true. Yep, that's true. Totally amazing.
Now that isn't all my information. That's how I was trained. So you can look this stuff up on Orasoma and see some of it. It's just each reader, we were all trained this, and each one does it a different way. Some just pull on the colors. I happen to be a little intuitive, so when you put the colors together, they tell me a story. And I had a really good teacher that taught me, use it in your way, you know, and so every Orasoma person will be different. Every person that works with color in any manner is going to be a little different, just like yourself would. But each one has a basic, you know, little meaning. So I tried to run through that pretty quick for you.
Do you have you have a website that gives information on color that there are other things that you put up? But what
I did for 2 seconds when JP talked me into it, and then I canceled it. So I don't know if I'll do that again or not. But I do.
No, but you said on Dolly's show that you had a website where you post things that you think people would find interesting.
Yeah, it's only things that I feel, and I usually tap in to see if it'll be of service to the people who happen to find my site. And I did it to begin with because I didn't have a website anymore. I was retired, but I want to give out, but it's none of my stuff. I don't even write anything on it.
Okay, then let me ask you this. What is the best place to send people for more information on color therapy?
Let's see. They can write me at that site and ask me questions. And also, I wrote that down. Very good, Nancy. Let me see if I can find it. Because there is a site that I really like, and I don't know the woman. And I think I'd given it to JP. Let's see if I can do this without crashing everything. Of course, I don't know where it went. Well, let me just try. Okay, I know I put that where I could find it easy. Yes. I happen to like this site. It resonated with a lot of what I feel about color and how I was trained. And it's called I can pop it in actually, energyandvibration.com. And I don't know this woman or anything, but she has, a whole bunch on color, and she has the Aura-Soma color wheel, but she also has things on light, sound, crystal stones, geometry. I haven't really looked into a lot of her stuff. I just really like the color. I have a feeling she might have been trained in Aura-Soma because it was similar. So I can pop that in the chat room, and I can also pop my site, and if anybody has a specific question or wants to talk, I can do that until I put something up about color, which I don't know if I will or not.
Okay, now what was that? What was the name of that? Energyandvibration.com?
Yeah, and of course I just lost it. Because I was trying to think, let me get it. I'm gonna pop it in the chat room if I can get back to it, because I just messed it up. Let's see what I can do. Okay, now I can get it. Here we go. Alright. I'm gonna grab it, copy, because
I just put it in.
Oh, God bless you. Let's see. Of course, now I lost the chat room. Ah! I'm not real good at this multitasking.
It's okay, you're covered.
Okay, and then mine, I think they had up before, is the pointsofattention.blogspot.com.
Time just put that in the chat.
Okay, thank you, Time, and thank you, Annette. So there you go. That's what I have for you now. But I will answer questions if you write me. If I can. If I can't, I'll just tell you.
Well, we've got 5 minutes here. It's been an extraordinary 4 hours. Thank you, Dolly, for, going through the hoops to get Deb here. Thank you, Deb, for agreeing to go for the 4 hour stint. I mean, if somebody told you you're going 4 hours on radio, you probably would have balked. But when you get into it, it goes by fast and it's fun.
And before JP, I'd only done an hour at a time. So when he said 2 hours, I go, what are you, nuts? And it flew, and I don't do it all the time. So, and thank you all. I had a blast, and thank you.
Well, I know that we've all learned, a great deal from this, and just for you guys out there, this is a donation-supported website, or whatever it is, radio network, and we've got the Wolf Spirit, we've got wolfspiritradio.com, we've got haggyshack.com, and we have everbeyond.com. This is part of the network, and any of those people would be grateful for any kind of donation. But on Wolf Spirit, you can also spend $5 and get the membership ticket into the archives that go back for 5 years and are full of just shows like this, and some of them are shows with people that, are really famous. We're just the people that, live here right now and, have a good time doing it, and so appreciate all the support that we get from all over the world. It's not just the people in chat, because we do have people that, I guess, on the other side of the world, because people on the other side of the world seem to know who I am.
Yeah.
So they buy our shungite, and, they could go to Russia, for crying out loud. It's probably cheaper. I'm sure it is. Go to Russia, but you can't get our shungite. And ours is special.
That you get from where?
Well, I actually do not get it from Russia. It starts out in Russia, but I have to go through European vendors because they don't like to send it.
Oh, dear.
For some reason, you know.
Yeah, they're lost.
Well, you know, you meet so many interesting people when you're dealing like this. You know, it's really, the world is a wonderful place, you know. Earth is just full of amazing people, and I'm so glad that I happen to be with all you amazing people. Annette, do you want to say something here? You know, we make you come on and then we don't let you talk.
That's okay. I didn't think I was going to have to when I saw that you were back. So it's all good. I thought it was very good. I think the color thing is very interesting and something I'm probably going to be looking into some more. So I thought it was good. Hey, it put me in a good, happy place. Now I got to go to ice cream.
Well, listen, if you do me a favor, next week is the week that we're on this other show. It's coming from Las Vegas. I don't know too much about it. But
you're just messing with me now.
No. The host gave us the wrong date, and I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't sound right. But I went with what the host had, not what I thought in my mind, and then found out that the host was wrong. So, that's how it all started out, and that's why Walt balked at coming on Dolly's show, and he felt so bad about it, and I said, look it, you know, we gotta get out there. We gotta let more people know about Shungite. It's a new audience, you know?
Oh, I can't next week. Our office is moving, and I'm probably gonna be in Sarasota the whole weekend.
Oh, wow, we'll have a good time. Ew, well, sounds moving? Sounds...
It's going to be interesting, let me say. I'm going to need to... What was that calming color? No, I was going to need to... I was going to wear Mom's earrings with shungite on it, because I'm going to need that all week, I'm sure.
There you go.
They're on the bedstand.
Okay.
Well,
but no, I can't. I would, but I can't.
Well, we'll figure it out. And we're going to figure out how to best get you more comfortable with radio, maybe bring you on a few more times, or maybe make you stay here all the time. But just so that you can feel comfortable with it, because I know exactly, you know, the angst that you got when you think about it, because I went through it, Colleen went through it, we all went through it, you know. But once it becomes part of your life and you, it's just such a good, you know, it's scheduling you to think about things that you need to think about. And we all need to think about them. So and Deb, you're just amazing. I so enjoy you. Your personality is awesome, but the information that you're sharing, I think, is very important to people. And I do hope that, you know, you also will, you know, think about, you know, coming on and doing a show, because you can't underestimate what you can say to one person in one radio show. It might make all the difference in the world.
That I'm thinking about. I'll talk to Colleen and we'll talk.
Colleen, what's up next time? Oh, you gotta go. You got a Ellen show. Ellen and Laura are up next.
Yes,
Colleen,
yes, it's pre-record.
Oh, okay, good.
So
thanks, Colleen. And Dolly, and Nancy, and Annette. Thank you all so much.
Oh, thank you, Deb. It was great.
It's been a lot of fun.
It has been.
Say the same word.
Yeah. We had a good party. All right.
Yes, we did.
Okay, so this is Say What? And we're signing off on March 12th. Good Lord, 2016.
Oh.
See you, everybody. Love you.
Love you. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again.
Oh.
Thanks, chatters.